Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
He tried to mess with a royal guard. Let's just make it clear. It's not cool to mess with royal guards. Their job is hard enough as it is, and then you come prancing around only to give them a bigger headache. That being said, there have been quite a number of people who have tried and failed to make a Queen's Guard break from their serious facade. But once in a while, there are those extremely provocative individuals who do manage to make a Royal Guard break character, whether by making them laugh or boil with anger. With that being said, let's take a look at those rare golden times that a Queen's Guard was disarmed or disrupted by a tourist. Some of these people were truly annoying, and you can't help but feel sorry for the Queen's Guard who endured this kind of abuse. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Funny guy makes Royal Guard laugh. We kick things off on quite the high note. Here we can see a group of young men politely approach a Queen's Guard with the objective of making the guard laugh. The person filming the video lays down the rules. You just can't touch him. Indeed, refraining from touching should always be adhered to in all social interactions with the Queen's Guard. They really don't like it. The cameraman's buddy proceeds to stand next to the stern guard and slyly whispers from the corner of his mouth, "We're in this together." He then begins his comedic routine, his opening line being, "We were together in school, but he went his own way." One of his friends, who's standing next to the cameraman, asks, "How long have you known this man?"
Okay.
I've been only here for a couple minutes.
So how long do you know this man?
30 years.
30 years you've been together and you've been to school where?
School?
The tourist standing next to the Queen's Guard hilariously responds, 30 years. Thanks to his vivid imagination, he begins breaking down the imaginary history of their school days. He was never talkative, he used to sit by himself and read books. The tourist goes on by detailing their school life together, mentioning how the Queen's Guard was so serious back in the day that he would even answer questions by simply nodding his head, never saying a word. The tourist goes on to act it out by shaking his head with both the yes and no gesture. He further jokes that whenever the Queen's Guard would be asked his name, he would only respond by shaking his head. The tourist turns to the Queen's Guard and says, "Shaking your head is not a name." As he slowly begins to disarm the guard, he narrates how the guy was during recess. He talks about weird things, like how when it was time to go home, the guard's mom would come to pick him up from school until he was 20 years old. Unable to hold his laugh in any longer, we see the guard's lips begin to quiver before he eventually crumbles and starts laughing. Embarrassed by the moment, the guard marches away, shakes it off, and returns back to his post. It's one thing for a tourist to get a quick photo with the Queen's Guard, but it must be quite a feat to make him laugh while everyone is filming and keenly watching what's happening. Plus, in these modern times, you know of course that the video will end up on the internet. Perhaps he should have started marching away a little earlier once he sensed that he was going to laugh? I mean, it's obvious that the guy was the funniest dude of the group, but the question we all want to know is, did the guard get into any trouble? We certainly hope not. It must be quite involving protecting one of London's most iconic buildings in the world. Not only that, but he also has the task of protecting the most high-profile individual in the entirety of England, the Queen. He must be paid pretty well, right? These American girls give this Royal Guard more than a smile. In this clip, we can see a Royal Guard in the company of 2 female American bloggers who were touring Buckingham Palace. They were vlogging for their YouTube channel, and so decided that one of their goals for the day was to make this Queen's Guard break character. Fortunately for them, the guard is a good sport about the whole situation and even gives them his attention. They begin by giving the guard some friendly banter, and he gradually begins to warm up to them.
Oh god.
The first girl in the video starts by making fun that they've spent the whole day with the guard and that they even met the Queen. She also jokingly adds, "Oh, you must hate Americans." Indeed, the 2 girls stand in his path and continue vlogging, with one of them saying, "I hope this must be entertaining for you." To their surprise, the guard suddenly smiles, making the girls giggle in excitement. "Oh my god, did you just get that on camera? We just made a Queen's Guard break character!" Seeing that he has indeed broken character, the Queen's Guard turns, seemingly embarrassed, and begins marching to the other end of the court. Perhaps he felt a little shy. The video then cuts to the girl standing with the Queen's Guard once more as soon as he gets back. One of them slyly asks, "Can we give you a kiss on the cheek?" And, being the legend that he is, the Queen's Guard gently nods in affirmative. The two girls proceed to give the guard a kiss, and I guess he went home a very happy man that day. Mimicking a royal guard. In this next clip, we see a guy attempt a sour joke at mimicking a Queen's Guard, which does not end well for him. As you can see, this royal guard is marching from one end of the court to the other. This tourist decides to mimic the guard's movement and matches adjacent to him. The guard ignores him up to the point when the tourist gets a little too confident and cocky and decides to touch the guard on his shoulder. Visibly disturbed and irritated by the tourist, the Queen's Guard shouts loudly, "Get back from the Queen's Guard!"
Get back from the Queen's Guard!
It was truly an embarrassing moment for the tourist, especially in front of his friends who were recording the video laughing uncontrollably. Don't you think he was doing a little too much? Guard tells tourists to sternly get back. You might be on holiday visiting Buckingham Palace, but that doesn't give you the right to interfere with someone else's work. Indeed, this tourist learned the hard way that you don't mess with the royal guard. While attempting to take a selfie with one of the guards, the man in question gets too close to the royal guard in question. Visibly irritated and feeling that he was infringed upon, the royal guard shouts loudly 3 times, "Step back, step back, step back."
Get back! Get back!
Clearly embarrassed by the moment, the tourist immediately steps back. An officer arrives at the scene to cordon off the area. One thing's for sure though, that's a moment the tourist would not like to remember for the rest of his life. And now we've come to the best pick of the day. It's safe to say that some people in this world are just crazy. Would you be all up in the face of a royal guard like this? Remember, some of these guys are actually military trained to protect the queen and her property at all costs. So it's probably not the wisest thing to castigate them in this manner. But we have to admire this guy's confidence. He has the guts to irritate a Queen's Guard without an ounce of fear on his face. Couple throws glove at royal guard. This is no doubt one of the most disrespectful things ever done to a royal guard. Perhaps looking for something to spice up their holiday, a couple decides to throw one of their hand gloves to the royal guard to see if he would go on to pick it up. I mean, what would inspire you to do something as dumb as this? It's like they forgot that the royal guard is an actual human being. One of the attendants to the royal guard sees this and is not amused. He confronts the couple and tells them that the royal guard is not a toy for their amusement.
Throwing your gloves at him isn't going to work, is it really?
He is actually an important member of the British service tasked with the duty of protecting the crown jewels. The attendant goes on to pick up the glove and sends the nasty couple on their way. Never get in the way of a royal guard. This, in general, is a warning to any tourist visiting a royal monument in Britain. Never get in the way of a royal guard. As royal guards have to patrol the entire grounds of historical sites, such as Buckingham Palace, they usually march swiftly because they have to adhere to a strict schedule. Someone blocking their way only serves to slow them down, which usually irritates them. That being said, a few people have learned this lesson the hard way that they should never obstruct a royal guard while they are marching. Indeed, they have been shouted at very loudly to get out of the way, making it a very cringeworthy moment for them to say the least. But why, oh why, do you have to embarrass yourselves like this while on holiday? With that being said, we've come to the end of our video. Have you ever messed with a royal guard before, and how did they respond? Let us know in the comment section down below. Want more videos that would probably still exist until the end of time? Click on any of the videos you see on the screen. As always, thanks for watching.